Hi guys, it's Kasha and you are about to watch my second day in the life video as a low carb type 1 diabetic. So I just want to clarify before you see the video that I'm currently pregnant with my first child, and as a type 1 diabetic, you know that that's considered a high-risk pregnancy, and the most crucial thing for any diabetic, including gestational diabetes, type 1, type 2, is to keep your blood sugars as normal as possible while you're pregnant. And if you can keep your blood sugars close to normal, you really minimize any of the possible complications that could result from having a pregnancy as a diabetic. So you're about to see what I do to keep my blood sugars in control during pregnancy. And the main way I do that is with a low carbohydrate diet. Specifically, I follow the diet plan of Dr. Bernstein. He's got a book called Diabetes Solution. I will link that information down below if you're interested. As well as my other videos, diabetes related, so that you can see other things about how I treat my diabetes, specifically for pregnancy. So I hope you guys like the video. If you have any questions, you want me to clarify something, go ahead and ask that down below. Keep in mind again that I'm in my third trimester of pregnancy. I'm trying extra hard to keep my blood sugars as close to normal as possible. So it's not exactly the best representation of a everyday life. Like what you're about to see is me being super strict because I'm pregnant. So you're seeing a pregnant version of this diet, which is even more strict than what it would be if I wasn't pregnant. So keep that in mind. But yeah, the results I've gotten from doing this during my pregnancy have been fantastic. My A1C when I got pregnant was 5.1, and my A1C once I got to my third trimester was 4.7. So I've had excellent results, and you're about to see a typical day in the life of low carbohydrate pregnant type 1 diabetic. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. Alright, good morning everyone. Here's what I do every single morning when I roll out of bed. First thing is I check my blood sugar and then get ready to give myself 2 shots to start the day. This morning it was 78, which is pretty good pre-breakfast number. I'm not going to correct. And then I'm going to go ahead and give myself my bolus for breakfast, which I take R. This is 10 units of R. Remember, I'm in my third trimester of pregnancy, so I'm taking way more than I usually do to do the pregnancy. And then the second shot I give myself every morning is my Levemir. This is 12 units of Levemir. Again, that's more than I usually take, and that's my basal rate to get me through the day until the evening time when I go to bed. Then I come out to the kitchen and I make my cup of tea. Now, if I wasn't pregnant, this would be coffee, but since becoming pregnant, I just drink a weak cup of black tea. And notice my choice of sweetener there is stevia. That's just a preference because it doesn't have any chemicals, it's more natural, and I use the liquid form because there are no carbs in the liquid form, unlike powdered form. Then what I do every morning for breakfast is I have a shake that includes wheatgrass, which I've just found has been really good for my body, especially for keeping me regular, if you know what I mean. And then I use this kale shake powder. And again, I've just noticed really good health benefits after I started drinking this concoction with breakfast. And all I do is I mix it with about 6 ounces of water and then a couple ounces of cream to make it feel like I'm drinking chocolate milk. So I just add a bit of cream, which is very low in carbs, to the water, and then it makes it milky. I always do it in a mason jar because that makes it super easy to shake, as you can see, and get rid of all those lumps. Then what I have for breakfast every single morning, and I've done this for years, is scrambled eggs. It's super easy. If you aren't into scrambled, you could do an omelet or fried eggs or, eggs anyway. It's a great high protein, low carb option, and it keeps you full. So I always do 3 scrambled eggs, scramble those on up, and I don't do anything special. I mean, I've just been doing this for so many years that I try to keep it simple. So just literally whack them on the stove, heat them up, nothing special until this part. This is my little flavor. I love soy sauce and eggs, the combination, and it's really low carb, so that is my condiment of choice. You could always do cheese as well. That is a low carb option. So 2 hours after breakfast, I always check my blood sugar. On this day it was 77, which I thought looked pretty good. It was like 78 before breakfast, so that meant there wasn't much of a rise whatsoever. But little did I know, my number was actually going down. Here I am sitting in the waiting room of my doctor's office. I had a doctor's appointment on this day. My mom went with me, and I was starting to feel low. This was probably about an hour after that 77 that I just got, and it was 67. So here you can see it's going down, but not super fast. And what I do is I just correct with glucose. This is half a tab of glucose, and that'll get me up to where I need to be. And there I am at my doctor's appointment. Of course, I had to include a little clip of my sweet baby girl. All right, so then pre-lunch, I was also feeling very low today, and I checked my blood sugar, and lo and behold, I was definitely low with a number of 45. This is very low for me. I am not usually in the 40s. And yeah, I don't know what was going on this day, maybe all the activity. I gave my shot in preparation for lunch with my mom at Chipotle. This is a Sofrito Salad, that's the vegetarian option. It's got cheese, sour cream, and a side of guac and a bunch of Tabasco sauce. 2 hours after eating lunch, I always check my blood sugar to see what lunch did to me. Remember, I had Chipotle on this day, and I got an 84, which I love. 80s is exactly where I want to be while I'm pregnant. So I always aim for my blood sugars to be somewhere in the 80s or upper 70s. All right, a couple hours later, before dinner, I check my blood sugar so that I can give my bolus for dinner. And I always take my shot about a half hour before I eat because R takes a while to start working in your body. So there I'm taking about 11, 12 units of R. And this is what I had for dinner. Those are ribs, a couple of pork ribs with a side of Brussels sprouts. And that is a salad with romaine or leaf lettuce, kale, and cucumber, a little bit of olive oil, and balsamic vinegar. All right, after dinner, I had a long walk with my parents, and my blood sugar went to 49. Again, I hated this day because I had so many lows, which I try to avoid being pregnant, and I corrected with glucose as always, but I also ate some of these crackers, and I wanted you guys to see that I don't always just have glucose. I knew my blood sugar was going down. I had that long walk, so I had a couple crackers. These are very low carb. And then here I am getting ready to go to bed, checking my blood sugar. Last thing I do before I go to sleep. Here my number's 94, which I'm very happy with because I had that low, which was in the 40s just like an hour ago. So I take my bedtime Levemir, that's 12 units of Levemir, and that'll get me through until about 3 in the morning when I wake up again to give myself a second shot of Levemir.